Hello class and welcome to week number 2 of Counseling 570. Let's talk about what we have for this week. When you get into the module, you're going to read Berman chapter 2. You have a video here that talks about violence and trauma and relates to presentation part 2. Make sure that you listen to that, and there's also the PowerPoint that doesn't have the video here if you would like to review that. There's an example of the annotated bibliography part 2 because that is due this week. But first, let's talk about the annotated bibliography part 2. So you're going to see the basic instructions here about how this is starting you with the literature review section of your treatment plan, and that this is graded as a draft version, incomplete, complete. But you also will have your peer review process on this. Remember, turn this in on time because I cannot assign peer reviews until everyone has submitted it, or I can, but then it gets a little bit wonky. But basically, what you're going to have with an annotated bibliography is you're going to have a 1 to 2 paragraph summary of each reference written in your own words. That's really important. I shouldn't be seeing a lot of quotes. I need to see how you understand the research. We know the researcher's understanding, but I need you to use your own words and provide that summary. So this means that you're going to at least say it has 5 paragraphs of content to share what you've learned from the 5 scholarly articles, not including 1 and 2 below. But what's this paper going to look like? And then I'll show you the sample. At the top, you're going to have your integrated theory. So you're going to have CBT and whatever other theory you chose. And then you're going to secondly have a brief description of your fictional client from your theory choice discussion. So that ties back in part number 1. And then number 3 is the annotated bibliography, which is discussed above here. So 5 scholarly articles, 1 related to make sure 1 theory and or client of your choice. So it should be tying into your theory and your client. Maybe it's diagnosis. It could be the theory. It could be the population. There's an example. I'll review it with you in a moment, but then it denotes here that you need to have specific expectations for the different articles that you are going to collect. So 2 of the 5 articles must be counseling outcome research. 1 of the 5 must be journals published by the ACA or its affiliates, and it can include the ASCA or AMHCA. And they can overlap, it denotes, so that is fine, but it probably won't happen. So 1 must be from ACA or its affiliates, and 2 of the 5 must be counseling outcome research. Counseling outcome research, we're looking at the effectiveness of a treatment modality on a client setting, client population, or a specific diagnosis. For each article, you need to provide that summary paragraph. You need to have a synthesis, your words, minimal quoted material, as I noted before, and also make sure that you're tying it into your client, because you're going to work to use these summaries and information to tie into your case conceptualization, your treatment planning, that outcome assessment, as you're working on additional parts and components of this assignment, okay? So I noted that there's an example in there, and it's a really great example to show you the expectations. So the first page shows the different theories, the first section. Next, your client description goes on for a bit here. This is a little bit more of a lengthy one. And then on to the annotated bibliography, where they have the reference and then the summary in their own words of the article, but then also making sure to tie it back into the client. So down here below it does. So you're going to see that for each of them. The citation, summary of the article, tying it into the theory. You got CBT in there, tying it into the client. And let's look at one more. Your citation, EBT, done with ERP, treatment of OCD, continuing summary on their own words, and then tying in how it's helpful with the client, with their diagnosis, and also the theory. Okay, so hopefully that helps you as you're working on your part 2 of this assignment. And that is due Sunday by midnight. You have your exam articles that I already reviewed in our first Zoom meeting for you to review and start to think about and constructing your exam questions. And that is it. Looking ahead, next week we have our Zoom meeting. You will see on the home page it is not September 15th. That is what's listed because that's when the week ends, but September 10th at 8 o'clock. And going back to modules again, we have that coming up. And then we also have your peer review coming up as well. So please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I hope you're enjoying class, and I look forward to connecting and working with you all more. Thank you.